Think about the last time Patrick actually lost something because of his friendship with SpongeBob. Not pretend loss, not temporarily inconvenience, but actually gave something up. Put SpongeBob first and accepted the cost. Take your time, because if you go through the full run of the show looking for that moment, you are going to have a hard time finding it, and that is a problem. Because we have been told for 25 years that Patrick and SpongeBob's friendship is the emotional core of the show. The most important relationship in Bikini Bottom. Pure, uncomplicated, unconditional love. And if you have never thought too hard about it, that reads as true. They are always together. They are always happy to see each other. The show frames them as best friends and you take it at face value. But here's something most people missed. A friendship is not just about being around each other, it is about what you are willing to give up. And when you track what Patrick is actually willing to give up for SpongeBob across the entire series, the number you land on is roughly 0. This is not about Patrick being dumb. It is not about writing quality or character flanderization or the show losing its way. This is something the series has been showing us from the very beginning, hiding in plain sight behind all the laughs and the jellyfishing and the rock. Patrick Star has one goal, and it has never once been the friendship. Let us start with Season 2, the episode Big Pink Loser. Patrick gets a package in the mail and tears it open expecting something great, and it is great. It is a trophy. Except when he reads the nameplate, it is not for him. It is for SpongeBob, sent to the wrong address. And what Patrick does next tells you everything. He opens SpongeBob's trophy closet looking for something to eat and gets buried in an avalanche of awards. Hundreds of them. SpongeBob has won trophies for everything, and Patrick's response is not pride in his best friend. It is not happiness that someone he loves is doing well. It is grief. It is envy. Patrick wants what SpongeBob has, and he wants it immediately, and he spends the rest of the episode trying to copy SpongeBob's every move to get it. He takes the same job, sweeps the same way, mirrors SpongeBob gesture for gesture. The goal is not connection, it is recognition. Patrick needs to be seen as successful, and SpongeBob's success is an obstacle to that. He eventually wins a trophy for doing absolutely nothing longer than anyone else, and he is thrilled, because the trophy was the point. SpongeBob was just the benchmark. Now let us go to the same season. The episode called I Am with Stupid. Patrick is stressed because his parents are visiting, and his parents have always treated him like he is not very bright. He asks SpongeBob to help him out, to pretend to be stupid during the visit, so Patrick looks smarter by comparison. SpongeBob agrees, because of course he does, because that is what SpongeBob does. He shows up, he plays along, he lets himself be humiliated in front of Janet and Marty. He calls himself dumb, he acts confused, he takes the hit so his best friend can feel good about himself in front of his parents. That part is fine. That is what a friend does. Here's where it stops being fine. Patrick starts to believe it, not as a bit, not as an act. He genuinely starts to believe SpongeBob is stupid, even after there is no reason to keep the performance going. He starts correcting SpongeBob in front of everyone. He talks down to him, and when SpongeBob tries to snap him out of it, Patrick doubles down. Because in that moment, feeling smart in front of his parents matters more than the truth, feels more important than the person who showed up to help him. The friendship was a tool for getting what Patrick needed, and when it stopped being useful, he set it down and did not notice. And this is where things take a dark turn, because that pattern does not stop, it just gets more specific. Season 3, new student Starfish, Patrick shows up at boating school and immediately starts causing chaos. Every time Patrick does something wrong, SpongeBob is the one who takes the blame. Mrs. Puff strips a gold star off SpongeBob's good noodle chart, then another. Patrick never picks up the tab. He creates the problem, SpongeBob absorbs the consequence, and Patrick keeps going like nothing happened. By the end of the episode, SpongeBob has lost nearly every star he ever earned. A perfect record, gone. And Patrick does not lose a thing. He never does. Season 4, Patrick SmartPants. Patrick falls off a cliff in jellyfish fields and lands on a piece of brain coral, and just like that, he is a genius. And the first thing he does with his new intelligence, the very first move, is decide he and SpongeBob are no longer compatible. He does not ease into it, he does not try to find a new rhythm with his friend. He looks at SpongeBob, weighs the relationship against what he now thinks he deserves, and walks away. He says they have to go their separate ways. SpongeBob is devastated. Patrick is already thinking about who to go find instead. Think about what that tells you. The second Patrick had access to something better than SpongeBob, the friendship was over. No hesitation, just calculation, because the friendship was never the destination, it was the best option available at the time. Well, as it turns out, that same season gives us the clearest version of who Patrick really is when all the constraints are removed. Rule of dumb. A royal messenger shows up at Patrick's rock with a crown and a family tree proving Patrick is descended from a king. And within minutes, not episodes, minutes, Patrick has transformed into a tyrant. He takes a man's comic book collection. He knocks a house down to build himself a swimming pool. He sits on a throne and makes everyone around him serve him. He looks at Bikini Bottom and decides it exists for him. And SpongeBob, his best friend, is just one more subject, one more person in the kingdom. What makes this episode so revealing is the speed. Patrick did not need time to corrupt. He did not need to be gradually seduced by power. He got the crown and he was gone. That is not a person being changed by circumstance. That is a person finally able to stop pretending. But the most famous moment, the one that fans have been arguing about ever since it aired, comes from season 6. The card, SpongeBob has been chasing a rare holographic animated talking card, number 54, one of only 5 in existence. Patrick buys the last pack and pulls it, and then spends the rest of the episode destroying it. He picks his teeth with it, he uses it as a fry spatula, he almost loses it off a cliff. A SpongeBob is losing his mind watching something irreplaceable get treated like trash. And right at the peak of it, Patrick turns to him and says, "You cannot always expect my usual brand of stupidity. I like to mix it up, keep you on your toes." People have been trying to explain that line away for years. It was a writing mistake. It breaks Patrick's character. The writers did not mean it, literally. But here's the thing, the line is in the episode. It aired. And if you have been paying attention to everything before it, it does not break Patrick's character at all. It confirms it. Patrick knows what he is doing. He knows how it looks. He just does not care. Because caring about how it looks would require caring about SpongeBob's experience, and that has never been his priority. Season 7, yours, mine, and mine. SpongeBob and Patrick split the cost of a Patty Pal toy from the Krusty Krab kids meal. They agree to share it. Patrick immediately takes the toy for himself and refuses to give SpongeBob a turn. And then, right at the end, when it looks like SpongeBob might actually get to hold it, Patrick eats it. He eats the entire thing. And then tells SpongeBob that sharing is caring, with the toy gone, while he is the only one who ever touched it. He did not eat it by accident. He ate it so SpongeBob could not have it. That is not stupidity. That is a decision. Same season, stuck in the Wringer. SpongeBob slips coming out of the shower and gets wedged inside his Wringer. Patrick, trying to help, grabs his forever glue, permanent adhesive, and uses it to fix SpongeBob in place. SpongeBob is now stuck inside a Wringer and cannot work, cannot eat, cannot do anything. His whole life is ruined by a single moment of Patrick not thinking. And when SpongeBob is upset about it, Patrick makes it about himself. He cries. He guilt trips SpongeBob for being ungrateful. He turns SpongeBob's suffering into a referendum on Patrick's feelings. And the crowd at the carnival sides with Patrick because SpongeBob was mean to him. SpongeBob apologizes. Patrick gets the sympathy. And the Wringer is still on. So what is the goal? If it is not friendship, if it is not loyalty, if it is not putting SpongeBob first, even once, what is Patrick actually after? The answer is simple, and it has been in front of us the whole time. Patrick is after Patrick. His own comfort, his own recognition, his own entertainment. Every single episode where Patrick and SpongeBob's needs are in conflict, Patrick comes out ahead. Not because he is manipulating anyone in a calculating way, not because he is secretly a genius running a long con, but because his instincts have always been oriented toward himself. SpongeBob is his best friend the same way a warm rock is Patrick's home. Useful, comfortable, not something you would sacrifice much to protect. And here's the part that actually hurts. The friendship survives because SpongeBob keeps it alive. SpongeBob forgives. SpongeBob shows up. SpongeBob adjusts, absorbs, accepts. Every time Patrick walks away or causes harm or takes more than his share, SpongeBob is the one who closes the distance again. He does not do it because he is naive, even though the show plays it that way. He does it because he loves Patrick, genuinely and completely, in a way Patrick has never matched. What we have been calling a friendship for 25 years is really just SpongeBob in a relationship with someone who has one goal, and that goal is not him. But if you thought this was the darkest thing we have uncovered about Patrick Star, you have not seen what is sitting underneath his rock, because the next theory does not just reframe the friendship. It reframes everything Bikini Bottom thought it knew about who Patrick Star actually is. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it.